Hello, Maan and Abet. Congratulations on your film. Cinemalaya Award winner for Special Jury, Audience Choice, and Best Actress for Pokwang. Abet,
Thank-
can you tell me more about how this started, your story started? What was the inspiration for this?
It all started when my mom got hospitalized for 1 month. So ako ang nagbantay noon. Ako nag-asikaso lahat. Although hindi ko directly na experience talaga yung mga ano, pero nasa private kasi kami. Pero every now and then pupunta ako doon sa mga ward sa public, mag-ayos ng papel. So doon ko talaga nakita yung sobrang ang pangit ng sistema ng ospital. Alam mo yon sa hallway pa lang, ang dami ng mga pasyente hindi naasikaso. Tapos parang feeling ko, hindi ka mamamatay sa sakit. Alam mo yun? Mamamatay ka sa parang desperation, pakiramdam mo, walang gobyernong nag-aalaga sa'yo, walang tumitingin sa'yo. Parang nga ganyan. And then my mom died, sabi ko, after a month, namatay siya, sabi ko gagawan ko ng kwento ito. So na-park lang siya and then nag-workshop ako sa part ng therapy ko, nag-workshop ako sa Mowel Fund. And then doon na kinailangan namin magbuo ng kwento. And during that time, nauso sa Facebook yung meme na sa Pilipinas, pag kukuha ka ng valid ID, hanapan ka ng valid ID. So doon talaga nag-start yun na parang ang gago, di ba? Parang, teka lang, anong katarantaduhan ito? Parang ganyan. So parang nakakatawa siya, pero naisip ko, bakit kung hindi pala, paano kung hindi pala siya nakakatawa? Paano kung tayo pala yung pinagtatawanan ng meme? So doon na nabuo, sabi ko, okay. I will use this meme kasi sikat ito. Tapos imimeri ko siya doon sa idea ko ng hospital.
Mhm.
So, ginawa ko, ah, ang hirap ng pagkuha ng ID, so that's red tape and bureaucracy. And then, doon sa ospital, yung nakita mo yung deteriorating health system. So, pinag-marry ko siya together. Yung idea ng desperation sa ospital at yung hirap ng kumuha ng ID. At doon nabuo yung two valid ID.
Mhm. Thank you. Ikaw, Maan, what made you decide on pursuing this project when Abet presented it to you?
Kasi first and foremost, it advocates, well, it talks about the social, political here in the Philippines. Okay? It's not just about poverty. It discusses about how broken our healthcare, well, here in the Philippines, broken our healthcare and identification systems. So since my first film Blue Room, it's a social political film. So my heart is really leading towards to social political films. And and then secondly, the protagonist is a woman. So kaya I accepted immediately.
So, can you talk about the casting also, Maan, about for this film, why you chose Pokwang and Joey Marquez for Ramon or Zaijan Jaranilla for Denver?
Okay, let's start with Zijan. Zijan, um, because I know him, no, not personally. I already, I watch him since he was a kid. I know the caliber of his acting. So that's why we thought of Zijan to be part of the film. And then si Chong Joey Marquez, when I saw him, what film was that? OTJ. Okay. Uh, he's quite serious in that film, but in a way may comedic pa rin na acting. And then I realized, pwede siya mag-drama, feeling ko. So, and then for Pokwang, Kip Obanda, the director of Liway and Marboys, uh, what's this, recommended Pokwang to play the roles of Sylvia. And since I watched the film of Dwayne Baltazar's Oda sa Wala, I felt that she can play the role of Sylvia, okay, even though it's a dramatic film. And then I also saw some of her anthologies where she played very, uh, very dramatic yung mga anthologies na yon. So sabi ko, pwede. And thirdly, we have the same ideologies, meaning same ang political beliefs namin, iba, same yung paniniwala namin in terms of like moral values din. And yung character din ni Mamang na mabuting tao, kaya I thought of, why not, I thought of her to play the role of Sylvia. Yun po.
Mhm. There were two scenes that really struck me. Yung isang scene, yung nagagalit si Pokwang because she was not first in line and she was ranting why she should be first in line. And the second scene was the ending. It was
Oh.
very dramatic the way you presented it, very quiet, but she could barely hear already what's going on because of her anger. Can you talk about how you approach these two scenes?
The first one was in the remittance center
Yes.
when, tama ba, when yung her telephone, the battery
Yes.
for her phone that
Ah,
drained?
empty
Yes.
button. It was an emergency situation.
Mm-mm. Yeah, for the remittance center, originally there was supposedly a cut shot with the people from the remittance center. Okay, but we thought of, to have that kind of treatment just to focus on her. Just when, well, we thought this during the editing. Okay, so during the editing, when we decided just to have that shot, to have more dramatic and emotional situation of that particular sequence. So sabi ko, sige, let's just do this to have this um, visual treatment instead. But in terms of acting, we already discussed this during the acting workshop. Okay, we discussed about what kind of character Sylvia has, and even her posture. Okay, being a farmer in northern part of the Philippines, of course, just imagine working how many hours in a day, 7 days a week. Okay, so the posture, she was a little bit stooped, you know, yung mga ganon. Pero in terms of acting, of course, for those who experience that kind of situation wherein your loved ones is confined in the hospital, and you know that how how do you call this, um gaano kalala yung
Desperate or
kalala yung situation of your loved one.
grave. Yeah.
So parang yun, so ganun talaga yung mafe-feel mo na the moment na hopeless ka, helpless ka, ganyan, yun, ganun ka talaga, that's exactly how you're going to react, yun. And then yung second one, we're talking about in the morgue, no? Yung very silent,
Yeah.
ganyan. Yan, at first, honestly, we thought of, having a musical score, but during the post-production again, okay, after the picture lock, when we felt that it's gonna work if we only have a minimal musical score, and then we'll just work on the sound design. Okay. So that's why in that we ended that way na with no score, just just ambient, just to feel more the pain of Sylvia. Yeah.
So, Abet, who was your inspiration for the character of Sylvia? Is this a combination of different people?
Yeah, it's a composite character. Ayan na naman sa'yo. Iyak na naman ako.
Oh,
Every time we discuss about this one.
mm, you remember your mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yung marami sa character ni Silvia, yung resilience, yung diskarte, yung hindi, yung lalaban hanggang dulo. Nanay ko yun.
Ah, okay. Taga saan ang mother mo? Anong province?
Bicol.
Ah, Bicolana. Okay. So, can you describe your mom?
Aga. Sorry. Hindi. Ang nanay ko kasi siyam kami magkakapatid. Pero lumaki akong nakita ko siya talaga yung nagtatayo ng pamilya. Kasi tatay ko medyo relax. So si nanay talaga yung lahat Lahat. Sa kanya ko nakuha yung lakas ng loob, diskarte. Sa kanya ko nakuha yung arte sa pananamit. Yan. Kasi nanay ko kahit walang pera nag-uukay-ukay yan. Ayaw niya magmukhang, ayaw niya magmukhang hindi presentable ba? So, yun yun. Tapos makulit siya. Kaya ako naiiyak kasi yung kahit sa kamatayan niya, binigyan niya pa rin ako ng magandang kwento. Siya pa rin yung nag-iwan ng inspirasyon sa akin na gumawa ng kwento. Sabi ko nga, buhay siya ngayon, parang mas atat pa sa akin yung pumunta ng mga gala. Mas ano pa yun sa akin, mas abala pa siya sa paghanap ng OOTD niya.
Mhm.
Ganyan.
Mhm. So, what's the name of your mom?
Aling ko rin, it was in the film, sinabi ko yung parang para sa alaala nila, Aling Socorro,
Ah, Socorro. Oh,
plus,
my mother-in-law, Socorro too.
yeah, yun. Ala, sorry po, ang aga naman natin
No,
mag-move
it's
dito.
okay. So, when you finished the script, you gave it to Maan right away. What made you decide to choose Maan as your director?
Dati pa magkasama kami ni Maan sa TV5, sa teleserye. So that was like 15 years ago o parang mas ano pa.
That
Tapos
was
ah, alam ko kasi yung pagbabae yung director, yung sensitivity nung character mo, lead character mo babae. So parang mas makaya ng ano. Plus syempre, iba pa rin nandun talaga yung tiwala ko ever since sa kanya. Na alam kong diligent siya magtrabaho, hindi talaga pababayaan ng material, ganyan. Saka parang hindi ko nga nakita yung material na ibibigay ko sa iba. Sa kanya ko talaga, kinulit-kulit ko siya doon. Parang twice kaming nag-attempt. Yun.
we
Mm.
submitted it twice kasi the first we attempted, unfortunately, it didn't, make it to the finals. Yun. And then we resubmitted it in 2025,
The year after.
no? Yun.
Yeah. 24 and 25.
But he approached me in 2023. Yeah, I can send you the photo. The first time we had a meeting, we discussed about this project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already saw the photo. I can share it with you, Janet.
Yeah, kasi alam ko, I remember, ito nga ay produkto ng Mowel Fan. I pitched it in Mowel Fan.
Yes.
Well, shortlist siya, pero hindi siya napili for ano. So, inisip ko na lang, it was meant for a larger platform, So, everything happens for a reason. Tapos, ngayon, sobrang na-overwhelm kami ni Ma. Ganito kalaki yung kinahinat na ng aming proyekto.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so what were the challenges you encountered in this film? How was your journey?
Oh, the major challenge was to look for investors because of the war. We all know that. So everything went up, from the gasoline, everything, all the expenses went up. So hence our budget as well, bloated. So yeah, it was really difficult for us to look for investors because they were so afraid to put their money in the film or in the project because they don't know yet what's going to happen in the future. And then there was even major investor who pulled out.
Mhm.
That's why, imagine we started filming in March, but we had to stop in the middle of, we had 8 shooting days, so we had to stop on the fourth day because, yeah, because we had no enough budget, no, to finish the whole film. So what our producer Gio Lumontal is our main producer. Okay, what we did, we looked for another investor, and it's a good thing that Claude Kuangko, the owner of Cloudy Productions, she was
Sorry.
also Cloudy Duck. She was also the one of the investors or co-producers of Sunshine. Okay, so she boarded in, and at the same time we were also very grateful for Be True. It's co-owned by a Taiwanese Taiwanese citizen who has, a business here in the Philippines. So he helped us out first, okay, for the cash flow before the Cloudy Duck came in. So yeah, they were so very helpful. So everything after that, we um when was that again? What, in May? Okay, from March, and then we stopped the whole April, and then we resumed in May after that, the last 4 days. So yun.
So a
So
total of how many days did you film and where did you film it?
total of 8 shooting days, and we just filmed here in Metro Manila.
Oh, okay. So for both of you, what do you hope audiences will get after watching this movie? Ikaw, Abet.
Ah, well, unang-una kasi talaga ay sana makarelate sila at mag-isip, magdesisyon, tapos kumilos upon watching the film. So far, feeling ko nagtatagumpay naman tayo sa aspetong yun, na parang may mga tao talaga ah, na hindi lang sila na-touch ng pelikula, yung parang wake up call sa kanila, naging eye opener, yung ganyan. Tapos may mga lumapit din na ahensya na gusto makipagtulungan kung paano mapapabilis ang proseso sa paggawa ng ID, mga ganyan. So, nakakatuwa naman kasi hindi lang na-appreciate ng audience. Meron siya talagang social impact. Na pag-usapan, nag-spark ng conversation, nagbunsod ng mga tanong na hopefully maging ano siya, sa dulo maging transformative. Yung ganun.
Ikaw, Maan, what's your hope?
Ako, I mean, for me, it's already given that the film is relatable. So I just do hope that there are more people from the government, especially the policymakers or in the legislators, will be able to watch our film. And it's a good thing that Senator Risa Ontiveros was able to watch the film during our gala. And then there was another one who contacted me, someone from Akbayan. They wanted it to screen in House of Representatives. So now it's already happening what we really wish for, because us, the ordinary citizen of our country, of the Philippines, of course, yeah, we can relate, we can always laugh at on the situation, but that's the only thing we can do. Or, us filmmakers, Abed and I, what we can do is, share the stories, experiences of the Filipino people. And of course, the hands really is in our legislators and policymakers. Yeah.
Well, and what's your plan now for after this Cinemalaya screening?
Other than festivals, of course, we wanted to screen here first in the Philippines. So we're really pushing to have a theatrical release, but we just don't know yet when. So hopefully this year. Yes.
Mhm. Okay, well, thank you very much. Congratulations to both of you, and thank you for the movie. It was really an eye opener. Thank you.
Yeah. Ayun, napanood na nila. They already watched it. They saw the trailer. So
Yeah,
yun.
thank you.
Ay, screenshot ko tapos makangiti tayong tatlo.